This is TWiT.
Apple is fined for the 9th time. There's only one more week, and then this will all be over, Apple, by the Dutch regulators. It's 5 million euros every week, and I think the max is 10 weeks, right? So one more week.
Sure that Apple just looked at it and said,
"Well,
"Well,
out in ones."
I know." The funny thing is that I think that Apple just saw it and said, "Well, that'll cost $50 million," and then they went back to what they were doing. They were like,
Tim Cook has a stack of singles, and he's just counting off singles every week.
Make it rain, Tim. Make it rain.
Yeah, again, exactly like that scene in The Godfather where like Sonny grabs a camera away from a reporter, smashes it to the ground, kicks it to the car,
money at him,
spits on him, and then just like does all these pills off. See that you don't want to be Apple. You don't want to be Sonny Corleone. At worst, you want to be Michael Corleone. Okay, and you don't want to be either of those guys, really.
Is it ironic that Apple itself has changed Apple Music on Android so that they don't have to give 30% to Google?
Yeah.
Is there a little?
I agree with Gruber. That's not ironic, but putting the button there is a lot.
Oh, yeah, they break their.
It's okay. You don't have. Yeah, you don't have to pay the money if you don't want to, but putting a button that you don't allow people to put on iOS apps on the Android app because Google does allow it, that's a bridge too far.
Yeah,
sir.
Apple TV app on Android TV and Google TV will not let users buy or rent movies because Apple apparently had made a deal with Google that they wouldn't have to pay commissions on in-app payments. That deal expired. They were negotiating. They didn't find a solution, so they removed it. But then they did the thing that Apple won't let you do, but Google does. Yeah. There is a button that says how to watch with a simple, clear explanation of how you can buy or rent content by going to a different device.
Like, have some empathy, right? Like, it's hard. Like, if you, app stores are aggregators of apps, and a lot of apps are aggregators of content, like whether it's comic books or videos or TV or music, and you can't do a 70-30-30 split. That's just not how math works. So, like, it's very little room for double aggregators, and Apple is, like, feeling this pain, but they're just like, whatever, we can do it on Android. Whoops.
Would it be okay with you, Alex, if Apple allowed a button that said, here's how you can buy this stuff?
You know, the main thing is that as we open that up, as an Android user, they do whatever they're going to do. As a Mac user, I think that the Apple user, I guess what I would say is that, and I don't think Apple should have put that button on because of what their rules are. So I agree with Rene that was dumb. Yeah. You know, and so and the problem is it undermines their entire case for them to do that. And that was just an unforced error. They shouldn't do that. You know, they should follow their own rules inside of the Android platform for the 8 people that are using Apple TV on the Android platform. And so the thing is that, but I think that the problem is, it's not that by opening that little gap, you know, what happens is that, you know, like at this point, like Netflix makes you go, like, I'm about to get rid of Netflix because I'm going to get rid of everything that requires some other login other than my Apple remote because I've just had it, you know. And so the thing, and like in general, the Apple TV is kind of a disaster when it comes to apps because they let all these people check for cable and then I still haven't gotten, I pay, I don't know how much for Masterclass. I still watch it by sharing my phone to my Apple TV because I can't get Masterclass to work on my Apple TV, you know. And so the thing is, because it requires some login, then I go to the website and I do this thing. That's what will happen to everything if they start opening that up. And that's the thing. It's from a user's experience. It's way better to say this is the way it works, you know.
I think I have a better solution too. Like, instead of just putting that button there, just don't charge rev share on double aggregated content the way you don't charge it on physical goods. That, I realize that would cost everybody a little bit of money, not that much money, like compared to how much money you make from everything else, but that would mean like you don't have to have the button. You don't, like, people could actually aggregate content and share it in a way, and it would just solve so many of these problems, which just seems so silly.
Yeah. I just continue to have that annoyance with Apple. It's the one consistent thing that just annoys me about Apple and all the things I have to research about them and write about them, that they want to present this face that we are a company, we're human oriented, we care, we're not like the others, we care about you, we care about big issues. But again, not that I'm saying that they should be different from other trillion-dollar companies, but it's always going to be a fact that at a certain scale, any company is not going to do things that interferes with the money. And if they're not going to let the fact that, well, look, we've sent this message about why we are pressing these limitations upon the app store developers that the app store developers thinks are unfair and unsuitable, but we're not going to follow our own rules because we're special. Because for us to be consistent in that would cost us money, and we don't want this to cost us money.
Well, especially in a market that is like a 1% market for them. I mean, I don't know anybody.
Exactly.
I don't know anybody on Android. Like it was such it literally is spiteful. Like literally doing that is spiteful because it's not a market. Like the Android market is not a market for Apple, movies, like whatever. It's like,
I mean,
Apple cared enough to make a standalone app and put it on Roku and a Google TV and other things. I think they must think there's a market for that.
Well, yeah,
sometimes it's not as good as the Apple app. I admit.
Some people have Android
TV.
Like,
yeah.
So it's nice to have that.
They cared enough about selling content from their own media store. That's what they cared about.
Yeah.